it's a little shaky here. All right. I think I'm gonna kind of incorporate some little car talks just so, well, I don't know, I kind of have a clear mind, and that way I'm kind of not in the gym doing exercises, right? Showing you guys exercises or stuff that I do, and then also trying to incorporate like other. I think it seems a little bit sloppy and a little bit all over the place. So I kind of think it'd be a bit more. I think on the smarter end of things to just kind of, I don't know if separate is the right thing, but just I don't know. It just seems a bit more cleaner to me, in my opinion. So I'm gonna just make a little bit of a change in the sense of we'll do some car talks for the car talks, and then when it's gym, we'll just start throwing some weight around. Because I know there's definitely different types of groups. Like I know I'll be like in my learning mood when I'm like, all right, let me go and search maybe tips on how to, you know, it's about this video, and I'm already like kind of having like a brain fart, but more so in the sense of like common myths, right? Uh about like weight loss, for example. Yeah, myths about weight loss, and that'll be kind of what the title of this video is. But anywho, like I say, there are some moods where I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and try to learn and figure out, do my research. And then I'm sometimes in a mood where I'm just like, let's go see some weight get thrown around. And, so there's, different things, different strokes for different folks. I don't know where that came from. But anywho, so really quick, you're on that path. You want to go ahead and attempt, right? You don't know where to start. There's a million places to start, a million resources. I think this is kind of, we'll keep it very short and simple. Just common myths that I'm sure you may have at some point in time have heard about, like weight loss, right? Like, oh, for example, the main three things I'm gonna touch upon is gonna be carbs. It's a pretty big one. Diet soda. Diet soda is another crazy one. And then carbs, diet soda, and there was another one. I'm already having a brain fart. Sorry guys. It's pretty raw though too. It's kind of off the dome. Carbs, diet soda, and I believe it was a snacking. There you go, cool. So hopefully I have shit from memory, but for the most part, that's what this topic's gonna be. Again, really quick, really simple, really down to the point. So we can go ahead. Let's just jump right into it. Let's go ahead and start off with what do diet sodas. Now, anything diet, it doesn't even necessarily have to be diet. If anything, we can just kind of broaden it a bit more and let's just say carbonated drinks. Now, I know there's a bit of a gray area when I do say carbonated drinks because technically there's like non-diet carbonated drinks, right? Like regular Cokes, regular sugar-filled drinks. But diet specifically zero, sugar, I'm a very, very big fan of. And I can't tell you the amount of times where I've been told, to like, hey, like, let's be honest, okay? Yes, we know water is water, and just drink. Are you ever gonna really drink only water? I mean, power to those who do, because I mean, it's not hard, but it's I like a little bit of spice in my life, and I happen to find that in the carbonated drinks section, specifically zero sugar sodas, and that's a little bit of a kind of like a tooth craving killer as well, because I don't know. For example, maybe I'm just speaking on me. I'm sure I can relate to some people, some of you out there who like, dude. Once I came across, I mean, diet sodas at the time were cool. Let's be honest, like diet sodas are ass. They just taste not good because it's diet, it tastes diety. But like once the Zero Head came out, I don't care what anybody says, it's identical. It's 1-to-1. It's 1-to-1. So Coke Zero, Sprite Zero, Fanta Zero, dude, they have a lot of zero sugar sodas that taste exactly like the damn soda. You mentally think you're drinking soda, but at the same time, it's like you're 0 calories, zero sugar. To the people who are very like nitty gritty and down to the there's studies and this and that. I'm not I'm not here to disregard at all. Like if you want to be Mr. Perfect, Mr. and Mrs. Perfect and just water it or sparkling water, for example, which is also a great alternative, by all means, I'm not anti that. I kind of like to look for a little like cheat codes, right? Where I kind of want to do enjoy myself. Believe it or not, guys, I like enjoying the way stuff tastes and taste. So my choice of poison, right? It's gonna be zero sugar soda. Now, feel free, and I do recommend doing your own personal research on the thing. I mean, on it, because if you're one that's more curious and would really like to know the nitty gritty on it, why the hell not? Like, why not do a little bit further research if it's something that oh, is it really going to affect me 20 years from now, 30 years from now? Is it something I see myself doing for the long run, or is it just short term? So all those questions that you do ask yourself throughout this journey, please research because, that's very important. I think that's like the whole key purpose of this entire thing, which is research, doing your own, exploration and exploring and trying to figure out what works best for you and if this is something that might work for you. But let's not get too carried away. Zero sugar sodas are great for weight loss. Period. Period. Okay. I'm not saying it's the only tool. I'm not saying that's the only. No, no, no. It is absolutely a great one of the many tools. Like one of the many tools that you could use to your advantage in, in assisting with your weight loss. And really quick, some again for some people who may like what are you talking about, like no, like again, this is something like I didn't know, and so I'm kind of making it for like my not for my past self, but I'm sure there's people. I'm almost certain there's people that are kind of lost, kind of confused, and like, oh, I've heard like, oh, Joe was like this or Alex was this, and they were both saying like, oh, it's bad and this and that and da da da. But it's like, does Alex and your other partner like do? Have you looked at them? What's their activity level like? Are they? You can. I don't want to paint a picture here, but you can paint a picture. You know, don't avoid it. If it's something that it tastes good, you enjoy it, it keeps you on track, it's fulfilling, it keeps you full, it's a carbonated drink. It's nothing really much more to kind of go in depth and explain about it. It tastes amazing. You can drink it almost every damn day. I've been doing it ever since like I've been on my weight loss journey. So to this day, like it's something that I've always had with me that I use. And essentially, I mean, there is some water in it. It's not a majority of water, but it's like essentially, dude, like a little bit of everything is bad for us. Let's be honest, right? So it's like you pick and choose your poisons, and I definitely don't think that the zero sugar soda is. I think it's in the lower spectrum of things. But that was my rant, on zero sugar sodas. The next crazy one is gonna be. I'm kind of excited for this because this is gonna be a little bit. Well, this whole thing is raw, but maybe like I said, I'm not. I never claim to know everything. I just am slowly kind of like it's more of like a documentation of what I experience, and maybe something that I share with you, you could take and use it, along your journey, or maybe apply it to your process. One thing that I really wish that I wasn't like, my mind was set in like believing in this 110%. Like I was like, yeah, 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 was carbs are bad, and I've always, like I've been around like family who obviously like are a bit overweight and they've preached and sworn up and down that it's because of carbs. And also, a little side note, like I guess not that I could talk shit, but it's like I'm at the end of the day, like at heart, I'm a fat person. I'm sorry for using that word, but I'm still overweight person. Like that's never gonna go anywhere. It's always gonna be a part of me. Whether I may not display it, I mean I still kind of feel like I do. But like I'm still a big person at heart. So I still kind of tend to have those tendencies and have those bad habits that are still lurking down there. I've managed to kind of tuck them really good, but they're there still. And so the people who yeah. So well, I kind of got a little carried away there. Sorry. What I was trying to say is like, you know, big people tend to always look for an outlet and always like to say the reason I am this is because of this. It's never like accountability. Like it's never themselves holding accountability for like their own actions. And I speaking on this from personal experience. I'm not saying every single person. No, no, no. But I think like personally, bro, if I'm being honest with you, most of the the larger community that I've personally interacted with have always said, "Oh, like I'm happy with myself." You're not. Oh, it's because I have a slow metabolism. You don't. It's it was never because like no one really. It was rare when I encountered people who were like, "Oh, you know what? Like I'm big because like I just don't eat good." Or yeah, obviously it's the obvious, right? But point being is like it was always I'm big because of X, Y, and Z, not because of fucking me, you know. But where I'm going with that is carbs. I've always taken my advice from who I surrounded myself with, and obviously in the beginning I was a very heavy person, and like I was just my family. It's not their fault. I'm not putting them for blame. You are who you hang around with and who you're raised with, and so if you're in a healthy family, and they're able to provide for you and give you food, and give you better food, and train you to have better like habits, it's gonna show, and it's gonna you're gonna carry that along with you. Whereas if you're with somebody growing up in a family where eat whatever, drink whatever, just no control, that's what's gonna happen. So I was dealt that card again. I'm not downplaying myself. I'm like, no, 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 no. My mom, for example, which I love her so much. Mom, I love you. I doubt you see my videos, but I love you. She was kind of one of the ones that advocated, like, hey, carbs are bad. Carbs are one of the reasons why, like, it's made me big, and I have to avoid carbs, and carbs are bad. Carbs are bad. Carbs are bad. Now I know I'm not. I don't have too much knowledge. So again, if anyone's watching this, maybe you could like shed some light and maybe educate me, because I'm always trying to look for information and just again expand and broaden, or yeah, expand my knowledge. I know like if you're diabetic or something like that, like I'm almost certain that's where kind of carbs are a little bit tricky. I don't know the nitty gritty, but I know that like yeah, if you're diabetic, I think it's carbs may have a different effect, or based on like your current health. I know carbs do tend to play a bit of a different role versus like somebody like me who's young, who's extremely active, who's constant in the gym. I know that, so that like I know. So I'm not trying to disregard or say that the few people out there who are actually genuinely like negatively affected by carbs, I'm not trying to disregard them. No, but for the most part, which was the group I was in, is I was always under the impression that just point blank carbs are bad, carbs are fattening, carbs make you get big. Again, I apologize to throw the word fat around. I know we're in a weird time right now, but to be honest with you, like, come on. Like, I'm trying to be honest with you. No offense. Anyway, so carbs aren't bad. Now, you got to think about it like this. Again, I'm not claiming that I know everything, but I do know a tiny bit of stuff, and it's like for somebody who's constantly active, if you're in the gym, if you're pushing yourself, if you have a job that like you're just constantly busy, you're constantly doing something, right? You're not like at your desk, you're not sitting down all the time. Not that I'm saying that's bad, but it's like essentially like if you're a very very active person and are in the gym, right, and also in the back of your head like you'd like to lose weight, like carbs are actually a pretty damn good thing for you. And this is something where I definitely highly recommend that like if you're curious to kind of learn more about it, which I really recommend. And like unfortunately, like not that I don't know, but like I know a little bit, but it basically is like fuel for your body. And again, I know it's gonna sound very like not immature, but like yeah, I'm not trying to downplay myself. I'm being really honest and being really transparent with you guys with what I kind of know and sharing my 2 cents of what I kind of understand about carbs. Is it's essentially like energy, right? And if you eat a little bit too much energy, then it gets stored as like the fat, and that's where we kind of it can get a little negative. But like I said, if you're constantly working out, or if you're constantly busy, if you're always doing something, and I'm not saying go eat 1,000 grams of carbs, no, but like I recently just transitioned into like like the 150 to 200 grams of carbs, and I'm still kind of like what the like dude what, but like my lips have been feeling really great. My mood has been feeling really good. I haven't been feeling like gassed out, really deprived, really tired. Like there's something there, and I really do believe that little increase, not little, that very large increase of carbs does play a role in it. Again, I wish I could provide you all the statistics and the facts and this and that, but like no, I think both Renaissance periodization, again, like they're really key for me kind of getting my own knowledge and trying to get a better understanding of this whole process. Is a good source. And also like Jeff Nipper, they make a great video, I think, even just solely on about carbohydrates. But I'm just kind of touching up on the topic like just barely little. Carbs are good. Well, they can be good and then they can be bad. But don't be scared of carbs. Don't think that well, no, carbs are not the reason that you are gaining weight. It may play a factor if you aren't too fully sure or aware of how many grams you should take, etc. But like that's all something I definitely think you should take, 5 to 10 minutes out of your day to just look up the videos about carbs and carb cycling, etc. Because that might just be the factor of you why you're maybe plateauing or why you're not able to lose weight, or you would be surprised. But point being, don't carbs aren't bad. Carbs are again another tool in the toolkit for you to use to your advantage. And once you're able to figure out, all right, like dude, like I actually I need to be eating this much grams of carbs, or I could probably benefit from this much grams of carbs. And once you start taking it, like it I don't feel as like cloudy or foggy in my brain. Like I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. Like I'm just, again, I'm really purely speaking on personal experience. And I'm telling you this from, like, I would just only eat protein. I'd only eat protein and I would depend on pre-workout to as like energy, right? To, fuel my workouts and my constant steps that I'm doing and my I'm very active. But like once I had kind of stopped depending on, basically caffeine and whatever little protein and little carbs I would take, and started actually prioritizing, rice, right, for example, or stuff like that. I was actually like, damn, I felt more fuller when like I was basically still kind of eating the same amount of food. I mean, sure, granted, like it was a little bit of an increase of calories, but it's like the little increase in calories to like how you're feeling, like that. There's no compare. Like, bro, like an extra 100, 200 calories, or well, not necessarily. It's like in my case, like an extra 600 calories, but it's like worth it for the long run because like when my workouts, I feel fucking amazing. I could keep going. It makes me, it's definitely a mental thing, but like overall, like I've gotten stronger. I felt like I've been getting fuller. Like it's just an overall, it's been a very positive um, experience on my behalf. Again, I really do strongly suggest you do your own little research and try to figure out, hey, like once you kind of check out the videos and get a really very clear understanding as to, what carbs are and how they are, which, you know, is pretty important. I think implementing that into, maybe you could even implement that into like a weight loss like meal plan or something. But it keeps getting more and more and more. It's a crazy rabbit hole, but it's a good rabbit hole. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, yeah, carbs are not the enemy. They're not. They're another tool in the toolbox that you just might be missing out on, and you should just take advantage of it. Please do. And then, lastly, snacking. I guess you can kind of tie that up with like overall, like just having a healthy relationship with food is super key, because sure, there may be days where like, oh, like, and I catch myself doing stuff like this, where like, oh, I don't want to snack because it's bad, or snacking is not good and it's gonna make me gain weight, and that may be like the make it or break it. Like, no, like just having all those negative thoughts and like, oh my god, like I know I portray a little bit of a like of an image like on social media, Instagram for example, where I troll and I joke around here, but like no, like all jokes aside, like I think having a plan, right? Where you know how many calories you're taking in, you know how many, carbs, how much your macros basically. Excuse me, whoa. Like if you have a good understanding as to like, okay, this meal plan I'm aiming for about 10,000 calories. I'm spitting here. Like 10,000 calories for the week, and I'm on an X amount of cut, and this is what I'm doing. You can like the cool thing about this is like you can kind of pick and choose and swap stuff out. So like if I know, for example, like all right, like I know typically I'm at like 3,000 calories a day. Um, maybe I'll do a little bit of extra cardio, or even like let's say you do get carried away and you're like, dude, like fuck, I had a cookie. Or first of all, I don't even think like that. But if you see something, first of all, yeah, let's backtrack. If you see something, whether it's like a candy or something, like I don't want to be the devil's advocate or anything, but eat the fucking cookie. Eat it, right? Obviously, like if you're strong, and like sometimes like I really do still preach like, dude, I'm not really hungry. Like it's cool. It's a little treat. It's not a very healthy mindset, but like my thing, fortunately for me, is like zero sugar soda. So like if I'm ever having a sweet tooth, for example, or I want to have a snack, or I think of something, anything cheat related, I go straight to the fridge and I crack open a Coke Zero. Or it's Coke. In my head, I'm like, damn, I'm about to drink the soda. It's a Coke. It's zero, but it tastes hella good. There are times, crumble, for example, like I fucking, dude, a crumble cookie box in front of me or in my presence will not last. But at the same time, know your limits. And there are larger cookies. Like there's always gonna be a time for you to go out and eat. That's never gonna go nowhere, right? You're always gonna you eat. Let's be honest. You know what a burger tastes like. You know what cake tastes like. But like, if you've been doing good, I'm not saying all right. You're on day 2. You've been strong. Let's go ahead. No, but like, like if it's something that's like it's not gonna make or break you, like just enjoy it, okay? Have that little cookie, have that little bag of chips. It's okay. Do keep in mind though, only thing I would recommend, personally, that's helped me, right, is like try to at least eat something that you're aware of. Like it has like the macros on the back, or the calories. And you kind of have like a back. You have like a little bit of a idea as to what you just ate, right? Versus like there's cake and you're like, fuck, I'm about to fuck up this ice cream cake with and I'm gonna have a slice. I think the slice is like about like you think it's like a 300-calorie cake, but it turns out the motherfucking 1,000 calories. You get what I'm saying? So try to be a little bit mindful of what you're picking when you're snacking, but snack. Do please snack, because again, it's pretty unhealthy for you to just try to be like, I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just wait, because chances are you're gonna keep trying to dodge that bullet. Where in the long run, if you would have just had that, that little Snickers or that little cookie, you're gonna be like, damn, the weekend just hit. I just, I didn't eat those little snacks. I'm about to go crazy this weekend, and you end up fucking off. And have your little bag of chips, have that handful of M&Ms. Just have that little, because I know just a temporary, whatever. Now, don't do it every single time. Don't take advantage of that. But you get what I'm saying. If you can be strong, choose the strong path. But at the same time, if it's something that's really like, oh, I want this damn donut, or I know I shouldn't have it, but if you start really overthinking it, please eat that damn donut, eat that damn whatever, because it's gonna eat you alive. You're gonna be like, let me just go ahead and you're gonna look for an outlet and try to figure out like, I'm gonna eat like an apple instead, and then I'm gonna eat a banana, and then I'm gonna eat, and then after all that, you end up eating all that, plus you eat that cookie, and if you're in a situation where you just cannot say no, okay, have it. But yeah, all I recommend or advise is that, yeah, if it's like a candy bar, it'll tell you, 250 calories, 200 calories. Fuck it, whatever. I'm gonna do extra cardio. I'm gonna, today I did an extra 5,000 steps. You know what I'm saying? When you're at a certain point, you're gonna be able to. I still don't want to say eyeball, because I myself am still not good at eyeballing things, but you'll get a better understanding or just of like, all right, like, dude, I know Monday through Friday I'm hitting a minimum of like 15,000 steps. I know that I'm in the gym Monday through Friday. I know I'm easily, like you start to piece it together, so you're like, you know what, bro, like if I have a cookie a week or a little cookie a week or I have a little something a week, like it's not gonna be the make it or break. Like bro, I know I'm not gonna, fuck, bro, I gained like 30 pounds a week. I don't know how. It must have been that one cookie I had. Like, no. So have that but have that healthy relationship where when, right? Like, all right, dude, let's have this cookie, right? Get it over with, boom, eat the donut, boom, whatever. All right, let's get back on track. Cool, you killed that craving, done, move forward, you know, instead of dwelling on it, thinking about it, trying to be outsmarted, which it doesn't happen. You're never gonna win that battle trying to outsmart it, because it's gonna come back 10 times more. Instead of wanting that one donut and just killing that, craving, Friday's gonna come. Let's hang out with the homies or the homegirls. Let's go out and you start to over reward yourself because of that small little thing. Prevent that massive snowball effect, kill it, and just eat your little snack. Please, have that balance, and you'll be good. Boom, I promise. So, carbonated drinks, zero sugars, don't cause weight loss. They benefit it. They actually can help you. Carbs are not the enemy. Also, another tool in the toolbox that you can use to your advantage. It actually is just kind of it's a source of energy for sure. And if you eat a little bit too much of it, it could work against you. So figure out that little sweet spot of yours, and adapt. Not adapt, and use it to your advantage. And snacking. I promise you, snacking is okay. It's okay. But it can get a little grayish sometimes. But if you're doing good, if 90% you're locked, or even 80 or 70, 80, 70%, you've been doing really well. You've lost 20 pounds. You just been doing really good, dude. Like, okay, or girl or female, it's okay. Have your little snack, have your little this, have your little that. But as soon as you have that snack, just jump back in, lock in. Just know that you can do it, and then it gets more fun because once you're able to control that urge, then you're kind of like, all right, cool. That's like another thing where you can unlock because it's really unhealthy to just strictly just cut off and just cold turkey, no snacks. Like it's just in a perfect world that's just not how it works. So find your balance overall. Find your balance. Find what works for you. Pick out those tools. Use them to your advantage. And good luck on the journey because, well, it's not as hard as you think. You got this. Stay focused. Locked in. We'll see you in the next one.